then, here we are. Something a bit different today. Taking a look at I guess it's the first wave of Ghostbusters from the new film. So these are by Hasbro. They've got Classic, 1984. So they're, I guess, from the new movie. They're kind of the vintage figures kind of redone, and all the same characters. So you've got Peter Venkman, Ray Stantz, Winston Zeddemore, and Egon, and they're kind of updated versions of those. They look as if they're kind of, them, sort of back in the day, the same sort of age as they would have been at the time, just redone. They each come with a ghost. As you can see, Ray Stantz and Peter Venkman here come with the same one. So you get that. I'm just going to adjust the brightness slightly. Yes, they come with the same kind of Slimer type ghost here, just repaints of that. And then they've done the same there with Winston and Egon. So they kind of got the same ghost, but recolors. So I think you can have them both in kind of like different modes, it looks like. So you can have one with it kind of opened up like this, or closed up like that. So you could potentially have the ghosts displayed completely differently. They all come with backpacks. The artwork on them is all the same, really. It's quite cool. So you get this kind of cartoon kind of look to them. Ghostbusters, Peter Venkman, obviously against each one it says their names, ages 4+, and on the back of each one you get a little bit of a bio. So with Peter Venkman, it says, fast-talking Peter Venkman is ready to face the spookiest ghouls around. And then it just goes into all the different languages. And then up here it says Ghost Fright feature, and then you've got all the other languages. So it's nice and easy and quick to go through. A fair bit of plastic on this. I know Hasbro are cutting down on a lot of their packaging and looking to do, at least with the Transformers, almost zero plastic in terms of packaging. But with these, I think they work well, that they are on display. Certainly that's what sold it for me, that I could actually see the figure. Definitely works for me. £11 each. So, and again, I'll just read the kind of little specs. Egon Spengler, the brains behind the bust-in. Egon Spengler takes on the most frightening ghouls in town. Is that what they said in the last one? Kind of a similar sort of thing. And then we've got Ray Stantz. And his says, paranormal expert Ray Stantz is always ready for any ghost he faces. So that's all you get on him. And then Winston, good old Winston, Winston Zeddemore. Again, I really like the artwork on these. Very nice. Come around to the back and it says, always dependable Winston Zeddemore, never backs down from a ghostly challenge. So there you are. You've got all of these. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to get them opened up and I'm going to take a look at the figures themselves so we can see what they're like, take a look at the articulation and all that kind of good stuff. And I've got some of the old figures here. Well, it's been a bit of a mixed batch, but it gives you an idea where they are at in terms of scale and stuff like that. Anyway, right, let's get them opened up. Right then, here we are. We've got the figures out of their packaging. And here they are all displayed together. And I've got to say, they display very well together. I've got some of the vintage figures, the real Ghostbusters, to kind of compare against. And that's one of the other things worth mentioning as well, is the look that they've gone with these is actually more of a likeness to the actual film character over the actual real Ghostbusters, which had different looks entirely. The backpacks just peg on the back. One's just fallen over there. They peg on there. I don't have the original Ghost packs to see if they peg on or not. These are kind of like a softer plastic, but this bit's still a little bit firmer. There is some nice kind of detailing on here. Nothing too over the board, no kind of paint or anything else like that. And then you kind of get this kind of hose piece here, which seems, it's soft plastic, but it's still fairly sturdy, which connects to this other piece here, which you can hold it in his hands. It can also come up and be pegged in, sorry, at the top here. And in terms of articulation, each of them, their kind of head rotates around here. I quite like the fact that it's actually the whole neck rotate around. Yeah, looks pretty good. The face sculpts on these are nice, and their hair and everything else, the hair and the eyes and all painted on here. And you got kind of these kind of tampo kind of things here for the Ghostbusters thing, and then more paint in and around here as well. Let's just change this. Just worried that that was on. Is that on auto? Just trying to change it so it's not on auto all the time. It seems to be like fluctuating the colours and whatnot. And yes, the face is all painted. The hands, the belt. You get Venkman in here as well, which is done pretty nicely. Belt and everything else. The boots, really nice shiny glossy paint for the boots. A little bit under spray there. You can see a little bit where they've kind of missed off some of that. But you know, they've got kind of the kind of stance that they've got is not exactly an action one, but it's kind of them. You imagine them walking into a building and they're kind of talking to them, getting ready to do something. It's that kind of thing just before they kind of get into action. And then say with Peter, you get this little ghost here. You see that? And it's all painted inside here. It's got these little kind of tentacles here, and you've got a button on the back here, and you just press that and it opens up, and you can see inside it's all painted. If you press that button at the back here, the kind of tongue kind of waggles at the back here, and then you just close it back up, and they just kind of display on that little base here. Egon, you see I've pegged his up here, so yeah, and in terms of articulation, all of them, the arms kind of move all the way around. They are kind of a little bit restricted by this backpack here, and the legs go up to there, and no further back really, because they're kind of, you've got kind of that backside that cuts in there. But there is some good detailing, you know, you've even got like the creases and stuff on here, and it looks like the legs on them, not sure if the legs are different, but they're definitely all kind of different molds, I think. What's the difference in height? Yeah, so Egon's like a little bit taller than Peter, so that works well. Yeah, I'm not sure if the bodies are the same molds or not. They don't look to be slightly different, but the heads certainly are very different. You know, it's a very good likeness actually for him, I think. Don't know just whether or not to turn that down a little bit. Yeah, it's very good. Big thick glasses that they've got on him. Eyes are painted. Again, Spengler on his outfit here. Hands are painted, boots and everything else, done really nicely. And he comes with other ghost here as well. This little orange little fella, and you just press the button on the back, and that opens up. His head like pops up as well, so the action doesn't work quite as well on that one. But there is a load of paint in here, so green paint in here. I guess it kind of makes them look a bit like wings almost, doesn't it? And then a load of detail on the face. All the little teeth are painted, and the kind of eyes with the kind of googly eyes in there as well. You can see those. It's a shame that there isn't any paint on the outside of the figure, because it's a decent enough mould. It's kind of difficult to open up, just because, for me anyway, I have to kind of hold it down here to get anything on it. I suppose you could hold it like that, and even then it doesn't really spring open like you would want it. Ray, again, take a look at the head sculpt. Pretty good. He's kind of got that quiff going on there as well. Very good likeness to the actual actor, I think. Kind of a stylized version, but you can definitely tell it's him. And again, I mean, I put his in his other hand just to show you that they can kind of hold those absolutely fine. And all the same kind of detailing that we've already spoke about with the others. And again, you know, they kind of stand quite nicely and they look good as a group. And again, he's got a repaint of this one here. Paint is slightly different here, so they haven't painted the inside of the mouth or the eyes, but they have painted these kind of like tentacle things. And this one's a little bit easy to press because it's right on the back here, like that, and it kind of opens up. And same bits painted inside here. I guess it looks like a kind of plant thing, or the ribs of it. And these look like teeth, and then you've got the kind of tongue there or something like that, which kind of twirls around in there. It's quite peculiar. And then you've got Winston. Again, I think that's a good likeness there. He's got his moustache there and his eyes are painted. So yeah, they've done a good job on that one. Again, I think they're all in scale. I don't know if it's me, but I think these two certainly seem a little bit taller, or at least, yeah, it's difficult to tell. But there are slight differences in the height. You know, if you bring in some of the original figures, you know, they definitely look better on their own. Just standalone figures. This doesn't look as if it's aged that well. I don't think this Winston really even looks like the one off the show too much from memory. Anyway, and with these ones, they all have different coloured jumpsuits and things like that. These are all kind of uniform. So yeah, it looks like it's a different connection with the thing on the back there as well. Here we are, and obviously the version of this is, you know, not the first version of him, but you see obviously the real Ghostbusters version of Egon was really quite different. So they've definitely gone for, you know, they're around about the same height. So, you know, if you've got an Ecto 1 or anything else like that, you could use them with that if you wanted to. We've got Ray here as well, just to show you, kind of around about the same height. Obviously very different face sculpt and things on these. And then I haven't got a Peter Venkman to hand, but I have got is it Janine here on the side here. This is one of the fright ones where you do that and like her eyes pop out and these little fish things come up. Yeah, so a little weird character. Yeah, so that in a nutshell is not the real Ghostbusters, the Ghostbusters. Definitely worth picking up in my opinion. Articulation is limited but decent. They've got a nice kind of posing or look about them. They've definitely got a presence, and they look good together as a group. I think you could get away with putting these in your vintage Kenner Ecto 1 if you wanted to, or display it along your Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, or even in your Firehouse if you wanted to. They've all got pegs on the bottom there, so you know, if the vintage one's got like the pegs and things like that, I think you could use them alongside that. Yeah, I like these. You know, I like the ghosts and things like that. I do quite like these things that open up. I do prefer the kind of, if they did like the little clear, translucent ones, little kind of squishier ones. I think that they would look quite good. But open to see what they do with these ones. I know in the American wave, Matt, who owns the comic shop where I bought these from, he was saying in the US wave, they've kind of got a different configuration with the ghosts that come with these ones. And one of them comes with the, you know, the dog. So, yeah, I think the UK wave is just these ones. So if you're in the US, you kind of had a bit of an advantage. So you'd be able to pick up the one with the, you know, the sort of dog from the end with Zool and all the rest of it. But hey-ho, that's it. I just thought I picked these guys up kind of on a whim and wanted to kind of show them off and see what other people thought, really. If you guys are going to be picking up any Ghostbusters figures, or, you know, if you collect the vintage ones, let us know. Certainly looking forward to seeing the film and seeing what other toys come out or merchandise alongside it. You know, Transformers was a big thing for me growing up, but certainly Ghostbusters was in there as well. You know, watched a lot of the show, and you know, the movie as well. Definitely watched a lot of the movie. I think Ghostbusters, the first one's probably my favourite, and just Bill Murray absolutely cracks me up on that. Anyway, going to leave it there. Thanks for watching, guys, and as always, stay safe. Bye bye for now.